Our first question will come from Jay Anderson.
What's up, Jay?
Thanks very much, Phil. Not doing too bad. I wanted to ask you, first of all, with Ryan Bader. Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, I got you.
We could hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Mr. Anderson.
I get that way more often than I care to admit. Let me just start over. With Ryan Bader losing that light heavyweight title, that kind of eliminates an obstacle you had in getting back to the title shot, namely the losses to him. Not that I'm questioning your motivation, but does that light a little extra fire under you heading into this fight?
It's kind of like all things are connected. It's I got to get through this fight in order to get back to the belt. So, I mean, I'm as motivated for this fight as I am for the next fight because it's all connected to where I want to be.
When you look at this one, I mean, you and Lyoto first fought, 7 years ago. Needless to say, you've grown, but how have you changed? And do you see him as having changed his game significantly since that first fight?
Yeah. He's in his last fight versus Chael Sonnen, he was he showed a little bit more range in terms of techniques than I've seen previously. He's always been good with his knees, but he looked, pretty athletic. He moves pretty well. So a little bit. He's definitely an evolved fighter as well.
The last one for me, I mean, this is going to be a different kind of fight for you. No crowd, both corners audible. What are you expecting going in there? And have you done anything to kind of prepare for that environment in terms of, imitating it in the gym?
Preparing for a, silent arena. I train in a silent gym all the time. I mean, that's the hard part is training for, not being able to hear and training for a loud crowd. But this, I imagine, will be very similar to training. Sometimes you have a tough guy that comes in from somewhere else and his coaches are there coaching him and your coaches are there coaching you. And it'll be very similar to that.
All right. Well,
I'll let you know.
Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Steve Jewell.
All right. Thank you, Phil. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And it's been about a year now since your fight with Carl Albrechtsen, and the world has changed significantly in that time. So how has your training changed up with the new pandemic circumstances we're all living with?
I now spar with the mask on because it's very similar to the training mask. No, I'm kidding. I don't. What I mostly do is my training time has changed and my training schedule has changed. I'm the flexible parent in my house, so with no school, I spend most of my time at home teaching and making food and all of those good things. And I get my workouts in the morning and then again in the evening. And other than that, not much has changed. It's just being more flexible and more intentional with my time.
All right. And having seen Nemkov dethrone Ryan Bader, obviously that was a goal of yours to get that win over Bader and get the title back. But now, knowing that you fought Nemkov to such a close split decision last time, how motivated do you feel knowing that you're already in the driver's seat?
Well, I'm as motivated as ever. And, all things are connected. This fight is my ultimate goal is to get back to that Bellator world title and be the champion and have the belt. And I want that belt. And this fight is standing in the way of me getting into a championship fight. And so, and that's been my thought process all along is, just stay doing what you're doing. You got to string together a bunch of victories, make your case that you want to be the champion, and that's the way it works. So, I'm pumped and I'm motivated.
All right. Well, we look forward to seeing your performance on Friday. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
John?
Hi, Phil. I was wondering, I know you beat Machida back in 2013. Do you remember anything from that fight, and did you rewatch that fight before this one?
Yeah, that was a special fight for me. Big name like Machida, for the former champion, down in Brazil. Everything was. That was a really big fight, and especially for my career. And that's a fight I'm gonna remember forever. I feel like I remember every minute of that fight. And I actually did not go back and rewatch it. I just don't want. I expect that enough time has taken place that he won't be as much like that fighter, and I know that I am nothing like. Obviously the same person had the same skill set, but improved on that. But there's less value in some of the things that happen because there's so much time that's elapsed in between. So I expect that a lot of the things that I might see, a lot of the mistakes I might find, maybe won't be there.
And then just the last thing for me then, a few weeks ago, Scott Coker was saying how he believes that Bellator has the best light heavyweight division in the whole entire sport. Do you agree with that? I
don't know how I can not believe that. I mean, it's we stack out well. I wouldn't even say stack out. We simply have the best fighters in the world.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate the time.
Mm-hmm.
Giancarlo?
Hi, Phil. You've had your fair share of rematches in the past, like with Bader and McGeary. Does it make it more difficult going into a rematch? Like, do you feel a little hesitant at times because maybe some of the things you did in that first fight might not work in the second fight?
That's always a thing going in with rematches. And I felt that with my rematches with Bader and McGeary. And but this one is a little bit different. So much time has gone past. I'm not exactly sure how much is the same I'm going to get. He's probably going to get an entirely different look. Not even by my choosing. That's just who I am now. And, there's a lot to overthink. That's the thing with rematches. It's a lot to overthink. And I try my best not to. I've gotten my game to a place where I'm completely confident every time I go in and what I'm capable of doing. And I've just improved on so much in between 2013 and now that, you don't want to overthink it by going back and looking at your old mistakes.
And the final question for me, you just spoke about that, like improving. What area of your game do you feel you've improved on the most?
Well, maybe my stand-up has probably received the greatest margin in that time span. I've definitely improved on my grappling and my wrestling, my finishing rate in terms of getting into different grappling positions and from ground and pound. So, I just, everything has just increased over the last 5-6 years.
Gareth?
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm just in the middle of dinner in London. So do forgive me. Let me just finish what's in my mouth. Mr. Davis, sir, you know with the mask on you look 25, not 35.
Ah, thank you.
You
Thank
do. You really do. And anyone else watching you now will agree with me because you looked so young when you walked in just then with the mask on.
Hey, I hope you washed down that food with some Earl Grey, my friend.
I will be indeed. So I've got three little questions really. I spoke to you during lockdown, and we had an amazing chat. And you were at home with the family, and you were saying that you really wanted to carefully tailor, not gym hopping too much when you were training. How has that changed then in reality, getting ready for the fight? Man,
it did not change. I just kept it small. I just kept it small. When I need more training partners, I have my set guys that I work with, and I did my best to coordinate that they come to me, and that was what worked. And that's what worked. So I kept it as small as possible and stayed in one spot.
Can I just take you back to that question? Very good question just now by one of the other journos about the first fight with Lyoto Machida, because I remember that fight as well. And I think, could I take you further in terms of what you're saying? Because at the time when you fought him, it was in the middle of him fighting Rashad Evans, Shogun twice, Quinton Jackson, Randy Couture, John Jones, Ryan Bader, Dan Henderson, then you, Mark Munoz, Gegard Mousasi, and Chris Weidman. When you had that fight with him, and as you say, it was down in Brazil, former champion, was that the night? Because he still had that air of impenetrability at the time with his skills. Was that the night your self-belief grew enormously?
Yes. I've always believed in myself. More so than my self-belief. It was more of the I told you so. At that time, man, Machida, and to this day, Machida is just a hard guy to land a glove on.
Yeah.
And after that fight, it was like, whoa, what happened here? Like that looked very different from any fight he had previously, he really doesn't get taken down as much. He's very good at getting up. And that fight, he got taken down, and he couldn't get up. He was getting taking shots from top or from bottom, and so I feel like that more than anything kind of really. So I agree with you. Yes, my confidence did grow, and you can do what you do to anyone in the world, but I think the MMA fans kind of grew this appreciation for. There's something about Phil that is completely different from. He has a skill set that is hard to match.
Yeah, against one of the guys who had always been considered very hard to
hard. Yes.
Mental. No, that's what I meant. That's what I was getting at, because it was.
Yeah, I know what you meant, and that's why I said it, because I was like, I know what he means, so I'm gonna just say it for him.
Thank you. Are you considering this fight with Lyoto literally an eliminator for you to get back in there with Nemkov?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I want to be back in there and fighting for that title. I want to win that title back. And there's only one path to the title, and that's victory. And that's always been the plan. That's even before I had the belt the first time, it was win, and then you'll end up at the title. So this is no different.
All right. Thank you very much, Phil. Appreciate it. We'll be right back with Cats in Ghana.